this is Riding with Ree, and today I'm going to introduce you to all of the brand ambassadors of Half Halt Equestrian. So firstly, I'm going to do a little short interview with the owner of Half Halt Equestrian, Liv Robertson, about setting up the business, running her business in a pandemic, and everything to do with that, and balancing alongside her dressage horse Twix. And then I'm going to introduce you to the rest of Team Half Halt, so all of the other ambassadors, tell you a little bit about our tips for becoming a brand ambassador and what it entails, hear about them, their horses, their goals for the new year, and all sorts of other things. In terms of the horse search, nothing new really to report. I contacted a few people in yards, but nothing was quite right. There is a new horse on a yard where a friend of mine just bought from. We know the dealer, she's great. The horse has literally just arrived, so they're going to spend some time getting to know him, probably a few more weeks yet. So we don't have any more information on him, but we're keeping a close eye on that and seeing later down the line if that's something that could be interesting, but otherwise just ticking along as normal. All right, let me get into this video with Liv and the rest of the Team Half Halt. I hope that you enjoy it. Bye.
I don't know what that light is. Oh, Jesus is coming down. Mum, this is Ree.
It's not a spirit, is it?
What happens if you turn the main off? No, have the light back on, please. No, we'll just have the beam. Mum, please you lock it because the dogs are running.
Robertson, introduce yourself for the benefit of the fans.
The fans, imagine. My name's Liv. I own Half Halt Equestrian. Still sounds weird to say that. I have a few other jobs and I ride my horse. It sounds like a real luxury, doesn't it? I work and ride when I want, but that is essentially me.
So how long's Half Halt been going for? It's been a few years now.
October 2019, which seems ages ago now, doesn't it? But it's not. It was like 4 or 5 months before the first lockdown, really.
So you run the majority of your business in a lockdown? Yeah,
I was like, oh, here it goes. I'm not going to have a company. And then I woke up in the morning and everybody wanted T-shirts for lockdown.
You're always telling us that you're packing them on your kitchen table, and you literally are packing them on your kitchen table, aren't you, like at home?
Yeah, I still live with my mum and dad and my boyfriend because I didn't finish uni till a year ago, so you know, money to move out is low. And then I decided to set up my own business and have a horse, so money is still low. I spread myself between my study, which I've now decorated so I have a bit more of an office, the kitchen table, the dining room table, the garage, which is the storage of all the clothing, sometimes the sitting room when I steam clothes. Really drives my dad mad because he's given me the garage, and I still spread. There's tape stuck to all the tables, you know, where I'm packing. But now I'll be packing sometimes till 2 in the morning.
Talk me through like a typical day, because you also have Twix. Is that Twix behind you as well?
Yeah, my golden boy.
So
yeah, my little gem. Bit of an odd one, really. I got Twix literally, I think, as Half Halt started, like the same month. So we have a nice American barn at home, 4 big stables, nice Martin Collins arena, all-year turnout pens, everything. Twix had been in the same home for his whole life and was quite mellow and chilled, which is why I liked him. He came home, and on day 1 of riding, he actually threw me off, and we had a lodger that lived here at the time, a vet student. She wasn't that horsey, but she came out and helped me with them. And I said, oh, come out, bring on your camera, take some photos. He's really cool. And the camera flashed or something really just benign, and we were gone. And I really persevered, but he just didn't like being here. There's him, my retired horse, and a Shetland. He just became like borderline unrideable. He was scared. But, you know, he spent his whole life competing, so he was fully capable, and he's quite chilled normally. So there is a yard, it's about half an hour from here, called Collective Equestrian, which is where Alex Harrison, who's done our takeovers before, everybody knows him once they see him, is based. And I'd already been there for the summer because I'd ridden another horse there, and I messaged him and said, please can I come for some lessons? Like, I'm a bit scared now. I've, you know, spent a lot of money for me, and this isn't how I planned on it going. I took him up there. Alex got on him for me for a bit. And then he said, oh, we've got a space coming up in like 2-3 weeks. If you can just see it through to after Christmas, you can come up on livery, which seemed absolute madness because I have everything here that anybody could wish for. And it's on my doorstep, whereas now I drive half an hour, you know, there and back every day. I'm used to like being out there probably too much, like every half an hour. So I moved him up there, and it's honestly the best. I'm going to say the best life decision I've ever made. He loves it. The girls are amazing. Alex has become probably one of my best friends, which is nice as well. Alex is annoying. Like, Alex is another level. Like, I mean, he's quite confident, which is probably what I love about him. But yeah, he knows he's good, which makes him even better. My normal day would have been sort of go up 5 times a week. I mean, he's mucked out and everything for me because he's on livery, which is a new thing, but I figure I pay for it and I work to pay for it, so I sort of take advantage of it. So I would go up about 5 times a week, ride late morning, come back. It's very flexible because I am my own boss. But recently Johnny's been riding him a lot more because I haven't been very well, which has meant I can work more. So it balances out. If my livery goes up, it's because I'm working more. If it goes down, it's because I'm working like a little bit less. I don't see him every day. Like, I love to, but I know he loves it there.
I often ask the Half Halt girls like big life decisions. I'm like, I've got this thing, what do I do? And I remember before I went on full livery, I was like, I've never been on full livery, like what do I do? Everyone like jumped in with opinions and thoughts, and I think it was you that said what you lose in the money you like make up for in the lack of stress. And I remembered that, and then literally as soon as I moved there I was like, oh, this is what she meant. Like, sometimes it's just the only decision you can take when you've got like crazy work. Yeah.
Like you have, I'm not used to, like, sometimes, so we've got the indoor and outdoor arena. I'll go into the outdoor, which is like vast, and there'll be me, Johnny, Alex, Liza, who also helps run the yard, couple of the liveries, couple of the girls. It could be 7, 8 of you. I've always ridden on my own, which I don't like at all. I know some people do, but I really don't like my own company when it comes to riding. Like, yeah. I take comfort in other people, and if something goes wrong or you need help, there's just somebody there. And I suppose livery is what you make it, and most people are like a normal livery there, but yeah, I just throw myself on them and they sort of have to take me as like another member of the family. I bring clothes and socks, and I always stop at Co-op to get them food and that, so I bribe my way in. I think some people see it as like not a weakness, but like some people I think that you're lazy or you're not capable, and before it would have bothered me, but now I'm like, do you know what, I've had them at home my whole life. I know I'm more than capable. I would look after him here if I could, but it wasn't going to happen, and now I'm not going to feel guilty if I can't go up 7 days a week. And I don't think he goes, oh, you didn't come yesterday and the day before. He's literally like, hi mum, got food.
Yeah.
He's content.
And you are quite an impressive dressage rider. What level dressage do you ride at? I've seen those videos and those pictures of the ribbons, and everything.
2019 was really like good. It was just one of those years where everything fell in place, and I did win lots. And then I don't know, it was a good year. Well, we're working towards doing the PSG together, so I need to get my qualification. So I need to get the tails out and do an advanced.
And describe what that means, because I know some people, including myself, would not know what that means if they're not into dressage.
So Pre-St George. So
okay, I know what that means.
Yeah, so medium, advanced medium, which is when the changes kick in, and then Pre-St George is where there's more sequence of changes. So, 4s, 3s, so on, canter pirouettes. I can't count for toffee. So when it comes to doing a line of 4s and 3s, I can do 3s, but 4s,
you just can't.
I spent my whole teen years, childhood, chasing team qualifications and points and this and that, and I was so competitive. I am really competitive. And then when I got Twix, I'm just that much more chilled about it. Like, what will be. And I do still want to do lots of things, and I want to represent Canada and do international things here. Me and Twix aren't getting on a boat or a plane anywhere because I'd turn the wrong way and it would be a waste of a trip. But I just do it for fun now, so there's no pressure.
I think that's really nice, and I've definitely noticed, I find that you're a very kind person anyway, and I know that you're always trying to make Half Halt better for the environment, better for people. You're always trying to support charities, and everyone's very tuned in to emotional IQ and mental health. That is set up a lot by your vibe and what you put out there and the kind of people that you want on the team.
I do love the group chat. I was adamant when I started that ambassadors and whatnot, I don't know how many ambassadors, I honestly set out for 2, and I think I ended up with 6 or 7 of you. I do remember I cried to my mum when I was picking everyone, because everybody generally that applied was older than me, so in my head it was a really weird concept being like, no, I don't want you, but I'm younger than you. Everybody was great that applied, honestly. The effort they put in. I did get the odd one that made me laugh was, I don't own any of your clothing, but I know I'd look great in it. But I did say, please be a customer. Like, you've got to love it. I don't know if it's social media, but kids want to be sponsored ambassadors so badly. Like, every day I must get 10 messages to my message request. Please, can you sponsor me? I want to be sponsored. Will you sponsor me and my horse? If I could sponsor everyone, I would, but I don't really know how me sponsoring you is going to benefit you if you don't already love the stuff. It's it's not going to further you.
Yeah.
But I think when I was picking, I had 100 applications and I read every single one. Hey, Beck, we haven't finished.
Oh, sorry.
I'm like, good question, and it just pops up Rebecca Pages on the chat.
I'll leave. How do I leave?
From Beck, who's just accidentally joined the chat. We've been best friends for 5-6 years, so she was always going to be one. She was my first ever customer. She helped me think of the whole Half Halt. I don't envy some companies that get 700-800 applications who are so big. Ellie. Every time I went to answer this question, one of you joined the chat.
Okay, I'm just going to tell everyone, come on in.
Are we meant to be on now?
Is everybody wearing the same hoodie? Beck's got this one on.
Got a t-shirt.
Bertie, your hair's so long.
It's only this long.
Oh, okay. I think it looked because it like stopped.
Just confusing. Bear with.
You eat the whole tray for a Russian.
They're not for they're coffee these.
Oh, this is so nice. We got everyone on. I'm so happy.
I don't know how we got everyone on at the same time without someone doing something.
Let's dive in. I won't keep everyone for long because you're all very hardworking and probably very tired, hungry people. Thanks for joining me. I love this group so much and I just wanted to share them with the world because I just think you're all great. So should we go round and just introduce yourselves? Tell us a bit about you and your horses and your jobs, whatever you want to talk about. Rebecca.
Hang on, let me compose myself. I am Rebecca Page and I am Joseph, I swear to God.
It's the headphones for me, they're just brilliant.
There we go. New setup. I am Rebecca Page and I am a freelance rider. I mainly do eventing and I've got a small string at home. They're nothing sort of big or nothing special, but they're sort of very personal and they've kind of come on a very long journey with me. My top horse is Strawberries and she is competing at 2-star level and hopefully we'll do an intermediate and a 3-star next year. And then I've got a couple of really exciting sort of dressage horses that one has just done his first medium and will hopefully progress from there. He's only 14.2, so he's kind of pint-sized pony power, but he's really quite special for what he is and I'm excited to progress with him. I spend my time and my whole entire life, it revolves around horses and I do my own and drive to others and basically just ride.
There'll be people watching this being like, how do I do that? I want that job.
It's hard work.
I'm Bertie and I've got 2 horses. One is my solo, who's 25 this year. He's retired. We did sort of pony club and birds as it was then. Now it's BD youth or whatever. So we did that quite a long time. I've had him 15 years. And then I've got Fiasco, who's my 10-year-old, who I compete in dressage. He's only 15.3, but he's fairly feisty and keeps me well occupied because he's very high maintenance. And also I'm equine body worker, so I'm out sort of massaging and sort of helping people maintain their horses, and I love it, to be honest, because you're their favourite person because they're like, oh yay, it's the massage lady. So it was like.
And what level are you working at with your dressage right now?
We're working at advanced medium, so the changes have taken quite a long time.
This was something I noticed when I first joined the WhatsApp, was some serious riders. I mean, I remember once someone shared like a video of doing like 2-time changes and I was like, oh my God. And then there was me being like, when I'm done with the test, can I leave the arena at sea or do I have to leave somewhere else? All right, Bex, let's hear about you and those dogs.
So I'm Bex Burnett and this is Millie and this is Lola. I live in Chepstow, which is South Wales. I look after people's horses for them when they're on holiday work in my local tack shop, and I've got 5 horses at home. 2 of them are retired and 3 are in work.
And it's dressage you do with Remy, right?
Yeah, so we're working at kind of PSG at home. We did our first advance just before Christmas. And yeah.
My name is Susan Scott. I have a really boring fleet insurance broker job. I have a now turning 6 Hanoverian. He's very well bred, far too well bred for me. I'm on to show jumping dressaging. He doesn't do a lot currently. He's been on furlough. So he'll be coming back into work. I was really chuffed as punch today because he tried on the bit. So
Ellie, go ahead.
I'm Ellie. I work in project management for Lloyd's Banking Group, so another non-horsey job. I've got one horse of my own, my homebred. She's 7 this year. My family still own her mum, so my parents look after 4 other horses in the family as well. But yeah, no, I've just got the one, and I used to event, so I evented her mum to sort of like a fairly good level, and then she had an injury, which is why I've now got a Callie. I do sort of BD, a bit of BS, and I do the odd event, so I kind of just do a bit of everything now.
Is anyone else an ambassador for anyone else? Because I'm in a couple of groups, but I think there's a special magic to the Half Halt one.
I'm an ambassador and a sponsored rider for sort of other brands and other companies, but sort of nothing like this personal. With sort of the other brands, of course, I'm in touch with them all and they message to see how the horses are going and for updates, or I just message them or just tag them. They're supportive and everything they do is amazing, but there's not the same sort of friendship within the sort of brand or the company or anything like that. Nothing quite like what we've got. Like, I feel like I know quite a lot of you individually, and I kind of don't feel like I have to hold back on, you know, like opinions or anything. I don't have to worry about other people's feelings. Oh, that sounds really harsh, but you know what I mean?
Yeah, you
like, I feel like I can be myself and I can be open within the group without having to worry about people judging me or anything.
It's not as simple as people just being like, oh, I had this great day today with a competition, or oh, we finally got this movement that we've been working on for ages, or like whatever, or even venting and being like, look at this horrible comment I got or whatever. I don't know there would be many groups that you could do that in and get like a genuinely supportive response.
Yes, a safe place.
And I don't know anyone else that does a group where the other people get to speak to each other. Anyone else who I'm sponsored by or supported by, I don't know any of the other riders, don't know anything about them apart from what they put up. Quite nice that we can all just be friends.
Yeah.
Friends.
And actually, now that I think about it, Liv, you're always sending like, oh, these are ideas we've got for next season, or like, what do you guys think of these colours, or like, what was your favourite shape? And I actually really enjoy that. I find it like quite refreshing. Be like, ooh, let's pick some, you know, t-shirt colours or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, obviously for me, the group was great because it's just me on my own and I don't have anyone to bounce ideas off, and I can launch things and not have an absolute Scooby if anybody's going to like it. But you're all quite similar but different. And everybody's
I think that's another thing that's different about sort of this group is, for example, other companies, they're kind of a big company. So they've got marketers, they've got someone that does the packaging, they've got someone that deals with the orders, whereas it's just you. And it's nice to feel part of the company as such. Oh, me, don't cry.
Quite anything. I don't think if a brand doesn't give to you, then why are you inclined to sort of like give back? Like, you guys do me like so much, and like if I don't at least do something and sort of like support you guys and have each other to talk to, then I don't really know what the appeal is, if that makes sense.
This is completely off like the Half Halt now, but back to it being a group about us. Is like I spend quite a lot of my day by myself, like doing the horses by myself. So if I've had a day or a good day, I can just talk to you guys rather than just being on your own and it all just like building up in your head.
What advice would you give to someone who wants to be picked as a brand ambassador to get picked? Or what is something that you don't think people think about when it comes to like being a brand ambassador? Because I guess when I think about it, it's not just, I think the amount of time that goes into planning content and like getting all of your clothing ready and then going and getting your horse, who may have his own agenda and may not be in the mood for taking pictures, and then having to find the right lighting and like getting the right poses, and then having to go through like 50 images and maybe finding like 2 that work or something like that. I think that for me is something people don't necessarily think about when they see these amazing, beautiful pictures of people and their horses, is like how much it took to get there.
Arguing with your mum about the pictures.
Oh my god, yes.
It is trying to get someone else to take them as well. Like there's not all of them you can do by yourself. That is definitely something.
Yeah.
No, I'm very anal as well about them, so I don't help.
No creases. I'm wearing the jumper, Olivia. How do you expect me not to get
you've got a
crease?
green background.
Get your iron out and
In the
iron your
bush,
jumper
Bex.
whilst you're wearing it.
Oh, you lot.
But that's how, if you make it onto like the Half Halt Instagram, like, you know that it's like top notch, because
Made it.
you really have.
Everyone-
I haven't made it yet.
No, I mean,
everyone makes the story, and everyone should. No, you all made it on the announcement photo.
I've got to the point where I take my pictures and I upload them to Facetune and I smooth the jumper.
Yeah, I've done that.
Creases out the jumper.
And
Like,
then
no, can't
glow
have
it.
creases in it.
she'll never know.
Somebody jumping a jump 10 fields away in the jumper, can't see it, or it genuinely looks like somebody's got it out the bottom of their wardrobe. Doesn't really look very. So here is a shout out to anybody watching that wants to be an ambassador or sends photos. Please
No creases.
Iron your
Just have
clothes
those.
and you'll be fine.
Get the hair straighteners out, get the iron, a hot pan. I don't mind, just make it uncreased.
Top tip, no crease.
Iron.
On a serious note, I think the biggest thing, because I've done quite a few sort of applications for things, including the Bedmax Young Rider Scholarship, which of course Olivia got the following year. And there was one year where I did get to the final interviews for the Bedmax Young Rider. And that was actually when I realised the video I did for them was sort of the least prepared video I'd ever done. Like, I hadn't planned what I was going to say. I hadn't practiced what I was going to say. And I just found that actually just being myself and letting things just come naturally rather than trying to stage things and trying to, have everything done perfectly. It's better to just be yourself and kind of have a little bit of banter in the video and show people that actually it's just you. It's not this false, face that you're putting on to try and be the perfect person that, you think that they're looking for, because actually I find they're looking for someone that's real and actually, being themselves rather than pretending to be something they're not, and being false, I guess.
And I guess on that same note, there's no point, and not that I don't think anyone would do this, but there's no point in like hiring out a fantastic arena or borrowing someone's really gorgeous stallion to take your pictures, because if you did get picked, you've got to then deliver that content every day, every week, every month.
If you
whatever,
want
so.
to hire the arena and horse every week for photos with an iron, you're more than welcome.
Remember the iron though, remember the iron.
So we're at the start of January 2021 and hoping, or, provided that the vaccine happens and everyone comes out of lockdown at some point, what is a one goal that you're hoping to achieve this year?
Well, I should hopefully have 3 eventing this season and 2 out doing dressage. And I guess you could say the ultimate goal would be that they all compete and improve and hopefully step up a level. I guess just to finish the season safe, sound, and have 5 confident horses at the level that they're working at. Having had such a mismatch year last year, it's kind of hard to set, I think, a big goal, because there were things that I should have achieved last year that I didn't achieve. But for me, it's just to finish the season with all horses safe, sound, happy, and working well at the level that they're at.
I don't know how you do it. You always bounce back. Can you just stuff the bar on your head quickly because it makes for good YouTube viewing?
Yes. Is that from the wing, when you hit the wing?
Hang on. No.
Oh,
This
okay.
is from where, hang on, actually. I got kicked in the head by this horse, and if you look, I got a patch on my forehead. So yeah, that's her. She kicked me in the head at trot up before I'd even competed.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Flap
Yeah.
of skin hanging down over eyes.
20 stitches. 20 stitches.
Oh, and then you just the same weekend?
Yeah. So luckily I had my dress. It was on the Wednesday, so she kicked me. Went to hospital, they checked it all over, got a letter to ride, which they thought was ludicrous, but did it anyway. And then they gave me a concussion test the next day, told me I wasn't allowed to ride that day. And luckily my dressage wasn't until the Friday. So they said I could do my dressage and they'd reassess me. And then on the Saturday morning, they said I could run. And I'm so glad I did, because she did a double clear, came top 30, and then never evented again because she went lame and has navicular in both front feet. So that was her last event.
Boom!
Boom! But it's fine because she's now happy and out on loan with a kid doing pony club stuff, and I've got a 3-year-old out of her on the ground. Everything has a silver lining.
We've got that video of you going into the wing as well.
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
Yeah.
I can't just fall off. I have to fall off and hurt myself.
Bertie, goal for 2021, if we
Okay.
out, whatever.
Goal this year is to actually finally do the advanced medium, or let's just say do a flying change that feels like a flying change and not like I'm flying, literally flying. But little Fiasco does like these changes and now his legs they don't go up, but they go like woo behind if you watch them from behind. But that's my goal, is to get out at that level, because I've spent like a year and a half trying to get the changes and I'm like, please.
I feel like when you do it, you're going to smash it. Having watched you at nationals and whatnot, I'm like, she's got it together. I just want to be a bit more like Bertie and Fiasco.
Yeah.
Like flapping everywhere and crying and too scared to warm up in the wind. And then we're like...
Behind the scenes, it's not that composed, I'll tell you that.
That's the whole problem with dressage. You only get like 2 minutes to look good. Okay, Bex, goal for the year.
Hopefully to go out and finally do my PSG, and hopefully it would be really nice to get my mare back out competing the chestnut. It'll probably just be an elementary or even a novice or maybe even a prelim. I don't care, I just want to get her out. Yeah.
What is your goal for 2021?
I will, listen to this, right?
Manifestation!
Right, get my horse around a decent show jumping track. By that I mean a metre. I mean, come on guys, it's nothing. Have you seen him jump a metre? And I will get him round an elementary.
Yes!
Nice!
He schools that at the moment and he will give me a change, she says. And he's very good, but trying to get him down the centre line, we stop here and run backwards. So
I think we're all emotionally invested in you getting around a test now.
Yeah.
Every time you go out, I'm like, come on, Susan. Yeah, so the warm-up was really good, but actually Bobby tried to get me off in the test. Oh, God damn it.
For God's sake. I tried to retire in the last test I done, and the judge actually came out the box and said, you're not allowed to retire. You have to carry on.
That's nice though. I feel like you can have judges who like absolutely annihilate you. So it's quite nice when they're like, keep going, you know. Ellie, goal for the year.
I find these really hard. So I never used to find them hard, and then I think I kind of put a lot of pressure on myself the last couple of years, like by saying, and like if it wasn't met, it was then like the most disastrous thing ever that had happened. So I think this year is kind of just to get back out, like confidently jumping a course, because I don't know why, I just seem to have had a bit of a confidence blip, more like in my ability, and I have no idea why. It's just like suddenly happened, and now I like go to a fence, even like a 90 fence, and I'm like, can't see a stride, I can't jump, I can't do anything, and then my horse is like, what's going on up there? Just get that feeling again.
Yeah.
I think it's something about this time of year, because last year I put up a status about having no self-confidence and then going for a lesson and being like, yeah, I can do it. And then last week I had exactly the same thing happen again. Like, I can't do it, I can't do this, can't do that. That's not even jumping, that's just literally getting on and riding. So I think it's something about this time of year.
Yeah, and I always like used like a lesson really helps me, even just like one lesson, just to like affirm what I'm doing is right. Just someone to tell me like, sit up, put your leg on. I'm like, oh, okay, I can ride. Because we can't really have lessons.
Yeah, it's such a mental thing, riding. I mean, obviously you have to be able to ride, but it's such a big thing about what's in your head as well. So I think this year's been tough for that, especially if you don't have a coach there with you every week, keeping you like on track or whatever. It can be really tough.
Yeah.
Liv,
Wow. I want to do this.
He's going to do that PSG as well.
And I want to ride for Canada, which seems really bizarre goal, but I've always wanted
I
to.
never even knew that you could apply to be Canadian.
I'm half Canadian. That's the goal, because realistically, I've never really been that, the kids that will want to ride for GB, like, it's never even crossed my mind, and I'm not deluded in that I'm not that good. Like,
shut up.
No, I'm really not. And you spend your day with Alex, you realise what good is, and then what fairy
Should not compare yourself.
Yeah.
No, but you can't when you spend like that's like
you can't help it.
Team good, like we'll probably go to Olympia next year, wants to go to the Olympics in Paris, and then I'm there like I watched PIVO, is it last September or October maybe, and I watched the small tour class and thought it's not unattainable. It is at the moment because I can't ride much when I'm ill, but it is achievable. It probably won't happen, but you've got to dream it, believe it to happen, whatever that saying is that I can't get out.
Yeah, manifest. You've got to say it. Dream it, believe it.
If it happens, it happens. The PSG thing will happen, whether it's a good version of it, he's ready to do it.
At the end of the day, it's our dreams that kind of get us out of bed in the morning. If we didn't have dreams and goals, what would be the point in it all?
Hell, that was deep from you, but very good.
It's true though. If I didn't have a goal or an ambition of one day going to Burley, what's the point? What is the point? In getting up a bed at 4 a.m. to muck out 6 horses, to ride, to train, to do it all, if you don't have a goal, however big or small, or a dream, there's no point.
I do think
your dreams that keep you going.
Well, I guess my goal for the year, I did want this year just to dip my toe into BE, like at the very lowest level, just to say that I'd done an affiliated competition, but I'm sort of starting again, obviously now. So the goal is to obviously find a horse to start with. That would be nice. And I'd still want to keep my goal of doing a one-day event this year. I haven't done one since I was like 14. And I think to do it on my own horse, that will be quite a special moment, something that I think I've wanted for like forever. And then I guess depending on what kind of a horse I end up with, something really established or something really green, maybe we do a little BE if we can this year. If not, then we've got the rest of our life.
I feel like you'll know when you know. You just do. It just works in like Twix. I saw him on Facebook in the February for sale. He was the nicest. It's just a picture of him. I wasn't looking. Bonnie was still sound. His advert came back up after I'd finished riding Zach for the year. And I was like, oh, his advert's come back up, but he'll have gone by now. It's been like nearly a year. And then the other BD Youth ambassador, Jess, actually worked for Maria, who owned him. And I said, is he still up? And she said, oh, yeah, he's still on the yard. Maria's actually been in quite a bad accident this year and was in a coma for a bit. So his like sale just got sort of halted. And yeah, so lo and behold, like September, October, all those months later, I went to see him. You know, all sorts of things happened, and then like a couple months later, he was mine. But I must have manifested good things. Yeah. But I saw him, and I really wanted him back when I wasn't even looking for a horse. And then somehow, and probably if I'd gone to see him back then, before her accident and whatnot, it might not have worked out. So I feel like you do. I'm not superstitious. Well,
fate, though, isn't it? There's something.
Whatever you end up with, this will have all happened for some sort of.
I think it's hard because even though I've done all the budgeting and I've done all the sums and I've got the support and I'm organised, because my parents for like my whole life have been like, please don't buy one, they're so expensive, don't buy one, we can't afford it, like whatever. And once you hear that enough, you're sort of like, well, maybe they're right. Like, and you know, the reality is, I think once
they are right.
Yeah, they are.
They cry until you convince them otherwise.
Yeah. I feel like once you do it, you find a way to make it work. You find a way to make the time work. You find a way to make the money work. You make sacrifices elsewhere. So, you know, it is what it is.
Called an overdraft.
Yeah.
That's how you make it work.
I think like you're like definitely 20 steps ahead of me when you have your spreadsheets and you budget. I just wing and prayer it, and the less I think about it, the better I feel about it. Can we do a what would your dream job be if you didn't do what you did? Because I've always wondered it. Something to do with murders, an interior designer I'd love, or personal shopper because I love buying gifts. Yeah. Or I'd love to live in a TikTok house in LA.
I'd want to be, you know, like those people that work on the safaris and like take people around.
A gamekeeper?
Like conservation type, like checking out on all the animals and like getting to just be out there. That would be my dream job.
I wanted to be a criminal psychologist when I was at...
Oh, that'd be interesting.
Joe, I came up here to get away from you. Why are you here?
Tell him it's live on YouTube at the moment.
It's live on YouTube. Yeah, that shut you up, didn't it?
Susan, I want to know what you do.
Yeah, I thought you were.
Mine's really boring. Mine's really, really boring. But it's where the money's at, so you know me.
What would you want to do?
Horse broker, insurance.
You could do that.
I want to own one though.
Bex Burnett, what would you be?
I got no idea. I'd quite like to do what I do now, but abroad. Like have a yard in Spain or Italy or somewhere like that.
That's cool.
And go and do the tours like I used to. That would be quite good.
Okay. Thank you so much, everyone. You all look fantastic.
Thanks, Ree.
Thank you.
See you later.